Alrighty, happy Monday. Took 4 trades today. I took 2 trades that I think were great trades, and then I took 2 very crappy trades. So let's get into it. Going into the day, I was pretty bullish. Pretty much looking for this to become the draw. We have a big daily fair value gap here and these stacked highs here, and if you take this manipulation leg, like both of these, this seems like a good area for price to draw into. After that, who knows, maybe we go lower, maybe we go higher, I don't know, but bullish until then. So zooming in a bit more, we just opened up this new week opening gap. So price had rebalanced in there for ES, not NQ, which I think is why we had this just like seemingly random straight line move to the downside. Market opened up, took out some liquidity, and then just straight lined through the new week opening gap and then stopped. We bounced up, used it as resistance, came down, held the bottom, and so we really started to fill in that new week opening gap a bit, and I think that's the reason why we had that big sell-off in the morning. Big SMT there. ES didn't really have as aggressive of a sell-off, so we had a big SMT there, and then we even had an SMT internally here too, where NQ took that low and ES did not. So once we pushed up, this was 10 o'clock right there, so this is just classic silver bullet, and then I drew out the order block. I got long 2 MES contracts, and I took one off at like 7 points profit, so like right here, and then I let the other one go, which ended up getting stopped somewhere right around here, pretty much at break even, just covering my commissions basically. Pretty unfortunate, but I guess it is Monday. Maybe I should be quicker to take profits. We did have 3 drives, so maybe right when that happened, and we started to push, we had this big candle lower fair value gap. Maybe I should have just taken profits sort of as we broke below here, or somewhere in here, or maybe even on the 3rd drive, because really that's an 8.5 versus a 10.75 TP. I don't know, I think sometimes I get a little too greedy with trying to squeeze out little points like this. We had 3 drives into this little fair value gap, push lower. Maybe I should have just taken it off somewhere in there and just locked in a decent gain. So, but either way, got stopped out on that. I was up maybe like $35 because I pretty much only won on 1 contract. And then I kind of got chopped up, so we had this fair value gap here that we were rejecting from, which was OTE of the move down. So I was starting to think maybe this is going to be a sell model to go lower, which I shouldn't have taken any shorts because that was fully against my higher time frame bias. Very bullish on a higher time frame. So this little short here was just I was just on a 15-second chart, took a short and pretty much instantly got stopped out. Then I flipped long and that got stopped out as well. So that little, I keep making that mistake. I really got to bunker down and stop doing the back-to-back like trade thing that I keep doing for some reason. I have this horrible habit. It's pretty much like destroyed my P&L this whole month. Is just from things like that where I take a loss and then I'll instantly flip the other way, when in reality, like, we're just sort of chopping around in this crappy range. I think I shorted at like, I was like, oh, this is like a breaker or something. I was just so zoomed in, and then as we started to push up, I just smacked along somewhere in there. Just terrible trade. Anyway, we had this fair value gap here, which was deep discount. So if I mark this out, it was almost overshooting OTE a bit, but also rebalancing again into the new week opening gap. Taking out some lows here and here, and then we just had a big push up. I didn't really want to take any opportunity in here, and I think where I did take the trade was good. The reason being, like, this is really far down. Like, I don't know that we're gonna hold right from here. You know what I mean? Obviously it's a low risk buy, but who knows, maybe we come down and take this low again. I don't know. But once we had this big move up, and then we just held these sort of imbalances in here, and we had this big inverse, or this big SIBI, this bearish fair value gap. And as we started, we basically just disrespected the thing entirely. I was like, all right, this was just a retracement. We rebalanced into that inefficiency here, and now we're gonna go higher. So in the consolidation inside of the inverse, I put a limit right at this, or maybe I did do a market order, honestly, because this was my true fill. So right when he tapped that order block in the inverse, I went long there. I believe there was also a 5-minute fair value gap. No, but it was sort of like a soon-to-be breaker, but not really gonna count that either. So I guess you could sort of consider this a breaker, but I don't know. Not what I was looking at. So I was just looking at all of these highs here, like this, expecting these to be the immediate draw in liquidity, and once we break through this, that's the higher time frame market structure shift. And I thought the model looked good, and so I wrote it all the way up. And then there was like a little SMT here, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna like ignore that. That's like a tiny SMT. Then it actually started to play out a bit, and I had my stop like right about like consequent encroachment of that wick, or like just a tick or two below, and I got stopped in profit there. And then we ended up selling off some more, tapping back into this, using this whole thing as like an order block. And I think there was also a good setup in here, which is kind of similar to this, honestly. Had an inverse there, had a small fair value gap here. This is your breaker. And so sort of just in this consolidation would have been a good area to go long. Order block there, order block there. So this whole just sort of area right here that we're consolidating in would have been a good place to go long. I was like tape reading this. I put like the drawing right there on that order block. Stop would have been below this order block and fair value gap, targeting that high. Clean setup, but I didn't want to take it with actual money because I felt like I had already taken some stupid trades. I had already taken 4 trades on the day. But you know, you had all that generated liquidity, this external draw. It was a good setup, so at least my bias was correct. So yeah, then later on in the day, dropped down extremely hard into this order block, which is this 1 hour, also 4 hour, along with like a fair value gap there on the 4 hour and a 1 hour fair value gap there. So once we hit this, I was honestly like really confident we were gonna bounce from here. So I was like, you know, just looking at these, but I don't know, I didn't want to take anything here, but I was not at all surprised that we just ran through all of the sell side liquidity and then just completely inversed it to end the day, considering we are bullish on a higher time frame, and that is a higher time frame PD array. So yeah, it's pretty much everything, man. So hope you did well. I actually started a Top Step combine, so like the funded account challenge thing, it was like $50 per month or whatever. So I was like, well, you know, I lose more than that in a fucking trading session, like I might as well try it out. So I did take trades on that today, but I'm gonna make like a separate video for that. I'll make a separate little playlist for that, just to keep it organized. So yeah, so I'll make a quick video about that. So hope you did well, hope you stayed disciplined. If I trade tomorrow, I will make a video. So peace out.